What if I told you that you don't have to deliver during thunderstorms? This is another direct response to another one of those Facebook forum posts complaining about not being paid a higher premium on orders delivered on DoorDash during thunderstorms. We had a severe thunderstorm up here yesterday in the Forest Lake area in Minnesota. It didn't actually pass through the city directly, but it passed to our immediate north, particularly through the city of Wyoming, which is a smaller town, part of the Forest Lake market. I drove into this area. We didn't have thunderstorms that were going to cause damage to my vehicle, but I would say it was probably grain-sized hail up there. There were other areas to our immediate east which got closer to golf ball-sized hail. But here's my answer to that question. It's always a case of supply and demand on these apps. And if drivers are going to continue to drive out there, then DoorDash will continue to pay what they normally do. What can sometimes happen, I've seen this in snowstorms in Minnesota, for example, when there's a major winter storm coming through this area, the offers will tend to get bigger as an automatic, natural matter, of course. And I don't think thunderstorms are really a whole lot different. If enough drivers get off the road, it's going to automatically force the supply and demand equation to favor the drivers. So why are you out there to begin with? Why are you out there when orders are low? Why are you accepting offers? Why are you even bothering if you don't feel like you're being paid enough? You know, you can always hit the decline button. It's your superpower. It's our superpower, and we don't use it enough. Hit the decline button, or do what I did, which was, because I take my offers from home, go home. I went home. I filmed a special Juneteenth version of this channel during last night's storms. I did not drive at all. Stayed home, filmed an episode, waited for the storm to blow over, and went back out. Or logged back in, I should say. And then went back out once I got an offer that was sufficient. Allowed me to make a profit. Also, what if I told you that it's estimated that 40% of DoorDash drivers lose money? And I think this number is climbing, by the way. And drivers have gotten so desperate these days that they'll take anything that comes in that will actually pay them any money at all. Never mind the vehicle, not knowing the invisible things that are basically vehicle expenses. The only vehicle expense that's really visible to drivers is gas. But the invisible ones are ones that you don't know about. Deferred maintenance, which includes oil changes, tire replacements, tire rotations, your typical maintenance items on a vehicle that come as you drive it. That's deferred maintenance. Car payments, if you have any, not everybody does. And insurance, which everybody does have to have, legally. And then there's depreciation, which is the most invisible of the bunch. So 40% of DoorDash drivers are estimated to be losing money, a number that I believe, as the offers have gotten worse over time, a number that I believe is climbing. I don't know if there's enough political capital or enough political will, but at some point I think the IRS is starting to notice this. Because most drivers, if they're doing it right, are not showing any income at all. Because vehicle expenses are wiping out entirely. I know I'm one of those people. I can write off more than I earn, and I can technically show a loss, which offsets very nicely against any W-2 income that I get. Of course, I'm presently not employed in a W-2 role, but I'm aggressively trying to get there again. So, most of my time these days is spent job hunting, book writing, and other various pursuits. But no, you do not have to drive in that thunderstorm and quit complaining about the terrible offers, because everybody I believe it's because everybody else, maybe in your particular market, are desperate. Desperate for any income at all, not realizing that it's actually costing them money to put their vehicle at risk. Again, in my case, we were talking about hail. Hail could do damage to a vehicle as well, and that could be an insurance claim that you'll get hit with as well. That is another vehicle expense that you are probably not going to be able to claim if you're claiming miles, by the way. If you're claiming your 70 cents per mile in vehicle expenses, then your hail damage is not an extra tax write-off. Anyhow, you don't have to drive in that hailstorm. You don't have to take those offers. You don't have to take any poor offers at all. DoorDash is not going to force itself to pay more unless the number of drivers goes down. Which, as I said, I've seen in winter storms up here on occasion, where the offers, when we're getting 8 to 12 inches of snow and it's blowing at 30 miles an hour, our offers, go up pretty nicely. In-town offers that only go, in-town trips that only go 2 or 3 miles being offered $20, $25. This is the natural byproduct of supply and demand. So if you're complaining about getting terrible offers in thunderstorms, ask this: why are all these drivers on the road? And why do you have to feel like you have to be out there? Because guess what? You don't. You can stay off the road. You don't have to take those crummy offers because, well, you never have to. Storm or no storm. So ask yourself those questions and ask yourself if it's worth it. In my case last night, it was not. I stayed home. I filmed another episode for this channel unrelated to driving. You'll see it in the list if you're here right now about Juneteenth. My historical synopsis of Juneteenth and how it correlates with the Galveston hurricane of 1900. Both happened in the same city, by the way. So anyhow, that's it for this go around. I'll talk to you later. As always, peace out, homies.